Press release Human Rights Day. Human rights advocates agree that 72 years after its issue, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is still more a dream than reality. Violations exist in every part of the world, including the most developed and democratic countries. Human Rights Watch published her report for 2020. It includes Australia, Canada, and the United States. Article 1 from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights: all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all humans have a right to access education, health care, economic opportunities, and a decent standard of living. That is about not only our future, but also the future of our children and grandchildren. The efforts which done by state governments, human rights organizations, and human rights defenders are not enough to fight against a human rights violation. We encourage all the stakeholders to concentrate on Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendships among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the United Nations activities for the maintenance of peace. The main problem of humanity is the lack of proper education. Education remains an inaccessible right for millions of children around the world. More than 72 million children of primary education age are not in school, and 700 million adults are illiterate. They do not have the awareness necessary to improve both their living conditions and those of their children. With the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, at least 400 million children globally were unable to access remote learning when COVID-19 shattered their schools. The light of education can help us eliminate the evils from the society and introduce good thought. We want to take all stakeholders and public attention such that education is in danger in different parts of the world. The attacks range from the bombing of schools to the killing of students and teachers. Rape and sexual violence, arbitrary arrest, and forced recruitment also occurred. Instigated by armed groups, attacks on education harm the students and teachers, but they also affect the communities both in the short and long term. To mention a few of these from many: Nigeria, 600 teachers killed, 900 schools destroyed in 9 years in Northeast. More than 22,000 students and teachers were harmed or killed in attacks on education in the last 5 years. America, since 2009, at least 100 of America's schools experienced a shooting. Attackers killed 110 students and teachers, 200 injured. Between 2015 and 2019, 93 countries experienced at least one attack on education. 19 more countries than in the previous reporting period of 2013 and 2017. Yemen and the Democratic Republic of Congo were particularly badly hit, with 1,500 attacks on schools in each country, and Afghanistan, Palestine, and Syria. Ukraine, since the conflict began in early 2014, more than 750 educational facilities on both sides of the contact line have been damaged or destroyed due to hostilities. In Turkey, according to the data compiled by the Union of Education, government dismissed 41,000 educators. In addition to that, 16 private universities where more than 56,000 students were taking higher education were also closed, and those 5,000 people, including 2,000 academicians, lost their jobs. Children and young people are silent victims of global bureaucracies whose creative statistics and evasive vocabulary disguise their failure to translate any of the promises made into reality. The law which mandates education to be free and compulsory has been thrown aside. People in emerging countries are forced to pay up to a third of their annual income to keep a child at school. Worse, children have to work, even at school, to pay the cost of their primary education. As Broken Chalk, with the reputable community and press members, we continue to claim the rights to education through the national and international judiciary. We want to draw the attention of governments, stakeholders, non-governmental organizations, and human rights defenders to fight against the human rights violations that educators are facing. We wish with this great human rights days will be the area for the entire individual to stand against human rights violations. Broken Chalk announces it to the public with the due respect.